You received a letter in the mail from National American Miss and you want to know, what is this all about? Well, I'm Dani Walker. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe. I am a former National American Miss title holder, and I want to explain to you what is an open call. If you clicked on this episode because you received a letter in the mail from National American Miss, comment Queen down below. I want to know how many of you out there are watching this because this is your first time hearing about National American Miss. The first thing it is an information session for you to learn more about National American Miss and what they have to offer. The second thing it is a qualifying event. So this is how contestants are actually accepted into the pageant. Is everyone accepted into the pageant? No. This leads me to my next common question. How many girls are invited and how many girls compete at the state pageant? This varies state to state, year to year, and amongst the age divisions. Typically at a National American Miss pageant, I would say the average number for any age division would be around 75 or 100 contestants. If you are from a less populated state, your state might only have 30 contestants in your age division. It really varies, and there's no way to know how many girls will actually be competing at your state pageant until pageant weekend. Now let's talk about what to expect at an open call. To clarify, an open call has nothing to do with modeling or acting. This is not an event where you will be meeting with any type of agent or manager. So you do not have to bring anything extra with you, just yourself. You don't need any comp cards or headshots. You don't need extra outfits to change into. This is not a competition. You will not be participating in the open call aside from your application and a quick interview. When you walk into the open call, you will approach a check-in table and they're going to hand you magazine number 1 with more info about NAM and an application. Typically the application has some of your general information filled out already. If not, that's okay. You can fill out a blank application. The purpose of this is to make sure that they have the right contact information for you. So if you changed your address, this is the time where you can correct that on the paperwork. Next, you're going to fill out some information about yourself. So there is a short section, and what they want to hear from you is about your activities and your interests, or the things that make you special. Sometimes this confuses contestants and they say, I do nothing after school. If you do not participate in extracurricular activities, that's okay. Talk about your hobbies and interests. Do you like watching YouTube? Do you like reading fan fiction? Share about those things on the application. This is all about giving the interviewer a chance to get to know you and start a conversation with you. After you receive your magazine and your application, you're going to take that, fill it out, and hold on to it until your presenter tells you that it's time to conduct your short interview. This is a really quick interview. I'm not exaggerating when I say that it's probably going to last about 30 seconds. They're only going to ask you a few quick questions regarding your hobbies, your interests, and also why you might be interested in National American Miss. The purpose of this interview is to qualify you as a contestant or not. National American Miss wants to be sure that this is the right program for you, which is the reason that they hold this short interview. Next, you'll sit through a short presentation where they'll explain how you got there. The way that National American Miss gets their contestants is by recommendations from past contestants or through businesses and organizations that they partner with who thought that you might be a good fit for National American Miss. And then they're going to break down the areas of competition, which are formal wear, personal introduction, personal interview, and 10% of your required score, which is our community involvement competition, which is super easy to do. And it actually doesn't involve any service hours, but they get into the details of that in that open call. Then they're going to talk about the optional competitions, which are things like talent, actress, casual wear, or photogenic. They're going to explain what those are, how you can enter them, and then at the end, they're going to explain to you the cost of these competitions, the deadlines to submit your sponsorship payments, so you know and your parents know exactly what you're getting into. A lot of girls want to know, why do I have to pay a sponsorship fee? And that is because the pageant requires money to be produced. It costs money to rent a hotel, to pay for sound and lighting. At the pageant, they give away a huge prize package for each state queen in her age division, and that costs money, as well as the money it costs to send the new state queens to the national competition, which is held in California. So that's the reason that pageants charge sponsorship fees or entrance fees, because the money from that goes into the production of the pageant. And that is normal. Almost every single pageant that you will participate in, whether we're talking about Miss America, Miss USA, whatever it is, all pageant systems are charging some sort of sponsorship fee in order to allow contestants to compete in that pageant so that they can produce a really, really great show. And one of my favorite things about National American Miss specifically is they know how to put on a show. It is a quality production that is very well organized, so it is more than worth that sponsorship fee. Some girls are concerned about, what do I wear to an open call? You can be dressed casually. At some open calls, dependent upon your pageant director, they might hold a photo shoot at that open call. If you are concerned about that, or if you're not sure if your state director holds a photo shoot for your open call, all you have to do is call the state office. The staff members at NAM are very nice, and it's a common question that they receive and would be more than happy to answer for you. Another question is, I'm not interested, but my sister is. So if you received a letter and you're not personally interested, but for example, another family member is, or your cousin might be interested, you can bring her along with you to the open call, and she is still allowed to apply to be a contestant for the pageant. If you did not receive an open call invitation in the mail and you still want to compete, you can do so by applying on namiss.com, and then you'll get in touch with your state director and find out about how you can potentially compete at your state pageant. After you attend your call, you listen to the presentation, and you conducted your personal interview with one of the staff members, you are free to go unless you have additional questions for the staff member, which is super common. So if there's anything that wasn't clear during the presentation, feel free to ask your presenter those questions. That's the other purpose of that open call, so that you can get as much information as you need to make the best possible decision for yourself. The last thing people want to know is what's next after the open call. Several business days later, you will get a phone call from National American Miss, and they will tell you whether you were accepted to the pageant or not. You will get a phone call for either outcome. If you were accepted to the state pageant, the next step is attending a prep session. The prep session is when you are going to work one-on-one with a prep session instructor, and they're going to go over the required areas of competition for you. You guys can check out my episode about prep sessions as well. I'll link that up here if you have more questions about what is a prep session. Aside from the prep session, that's the only other time that you will be meeting with pageant staff to prepare for the pageant with them prior to pageant weekend. If you're watching on a mobile device, make sure to screenshot this episode, post it in your Instagram stories, tag me at Dani Walker, and let me know what you think. Thanks for checking out this episode. I hope you learned something from it. If you're a pageant contestant who needs some help preparing for interview, you guys can download my free interview questions right down here. They are the top 20 interview questions that all pageant contestants should be prepared to answer. I hope that those are going to help you out as well. Please be sure to subscribe to this channel, hit that notifications bell, and tune in for the next episode. Thanks so much for checking this one out.